What's this about? Torgal has joined the party and will fight alongside Clive. Yes! Oh my god, this is amazing. A hero's best friend. Oh my god, this game is already so freaking awesome. I'm loving it so much so far. I think the world's super interesting. The characters are super interesting. The concept of magic and these crystals, the dominance, all of that. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Zomba here, and today we are back with another Final Fantasy 16 episode. Very excited for this because I've been loving this game so far. A lot of emotion, though. A lot of emotional roller coaster happened, specifically last episode. That was crazy. So much happened, and hopefully we can get some answers here now. I really want to know more, so let's just jump into it. All right, so we were headed over to this hideout next, where we were gonna get some more info. I was just looking at this map a little bit more. First off, this isn't like that big of a map when you look at it in the grand scheme of things. But the only city that makes sense to be where we were before is this one, especially because it's by the fire crystals. But anyways, regardless, we'll find out more surely eventually on what everything is here. But I will say the cities look very extravagant, and I'm extremely excited to explore these. I love extravagant cities with cool architecture, and hopefully they're varying in architecture as well. That would be awesome to see. I don't know yet, but that'll be cool. But we'll just travel here because I can't even go to the menu right now. I couldn't save the game if I even wanted to. All right, what's happening? Central Storm. The Deadlands. So he is carrying her. Oh, he's got like a back chair. I didn't process that before. We did see that.
Deadlands.
Keen eye, you. The blight sucked this place dry. Meaning no trees, no birds, and no magic. But it also means no neighbors.
That is nice.
The last place anyone would think to look.
Yeah, that's true. What are you looking at? A little bloodied, my guy.
Home sweet home.
Cid, you seem pretty cool. Cids are normally cool in every game, I think. At least that I've played, I think Cids are always cool. Some are cooler than others, but I think they're all pretty cool. I love Torgal, dude. Torgal's the best. Best character is Torgal, 100%. Look at that boy. Look at that happy boy prancing over. He's like, oh, I'm so glad we're home. Is that a big mess hall? Oh. Oh, I wasn't expecting. I thought it was like gonna be just the 5 of us or something, but look at the Moogle. Oh. Hey, Torgal.
This place. These are fallen ruins.
Well, we didn't think they'd mind. And it keeps the black from our lungs.
But how do you survive without magic?
You don't need magic to survive.
Hard work and a bit of nerve. You must be starving. We grow them here, believe it or not. Suit yourself.
Oh, looks pretty
You're
good.
back.
Ah, Talia.
And this is
Who
the
is this?
dominant.
How cold since we found her?
You a healer?
I was hoping you might give her a look over.
All right. Goots, get her upstairs.
Goose. Oh, that's his name?
None will...
Don't fret about Karen. I've taken care of her fee.
All of it?
She's the best healer this side of the belt. You've nothing to worry about. Go on, have a look around. I'll be in my solar.
Your solar? What? What does that mean? Sounds like the sun, though. Damn, check this place out. Hideaway. Sounds like a start to a song. Pressing the touchpad opens a detailed map. Okay, that's what I've been looking for, but we just didn't have it yet, I guess. Okay, this is what I wanted. Perfect. The cells. Okay. I wonder if that's where we'll find her. The infirmary. That's probably where we need to go because it's inaccessible right now. That's Jill's, I should say. Sid Solar. The Fat Chocobo. Oh, I'm going there. Reservoir. The Furrows. The Faucets. We could take a shower. That'd be pretty good for us. So this is the Fat Chocobo? Oh, it's the name of the bar or something.
The smell of war is thick about
Interesting. Would jukebox.
Sits up there in that hole of his, brooding and scheming.
Lay off the man.
Oh, he's up in the...
Plenty to brood about.
Interesting. You can talk.
When lightning struck, his yoke did break, his life his own again. With thunder's roll, he knew his fate and would fight it to the end.
That's it? Alright, well, Yuffie's better.
What do you think? I woke this morn inspired.
I've heard better. It wasn't bad, but... Alright, let's go check out the cells. Let's just walk around this place, see if we see anything, and otherwise we will go to it with the main objective. The Fallen. An ancient yet highly advanced civilization. The material from which these relics are constructed are far sturdier than steel. It cannot be worked by modern methods, so the people of the modern day have elected to build inside and around them instead. Damn, these ruins, dude, are crazy. So it sounds like, based on some lore that I read, that this material isn't really workable with modern means. Is that what I'm understanding? A botanist. Nah, I don't like plants. I'm not gonna talk to you. All right, well, I'm not really seeing too much happening around here, so I guess I'm just gonna go up to Cid's little abode. This, I believe, is the infirmary, which we cannot go to yet, so. Talk to Cid first, and then keep on keeping on. In we go. Hello, Cid. Oh, he's got an owl.
Just working on a pet project of mine. Though she's not above biting the hand that feeds her.
The owl? Oh, you're telling me I have to see it.
All right. I was hoping we might try and solve the mystery of poor Clive Rossfield. A bearer of the Sambrequa Imperial Army sent behind enemy lines. With orders to wait until it turned into a brawl, then slit the dominant's throat in the chaos.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was her. How could it be?
And so, to save her neck, you slit your sergeants, then set your sights on the hills.
Yep.
Conveniently forgetting how the Empire deals with deserters.
Ow.
As with that on your chop, my friend, we both know you won't be getting far.
He's very wise. I'll give him that. He knows a thing or two. Worldly.
You've fallen a long way, Lord Rossfield.
He's been through a lot of shit, to say the least. I don't drink.
Said that I'm a poor host.
What do you mean to do with her?
Do with her? Why, nothing. Her life is her own now.
Good answer, good answer.
If I wanted to use her, do you think I'd be talking to you?
Fair enough.
All I want to do is help. Dominants like her, branded like you. Of course, the realm doesn't approve, which is why we live in a cave.
Fair enough.
And it's also why we need help. From branded who know one end of a sword from the other. What say you, Clive? Will you join us?
Well, tell me about yourself. I want to know more about you personally. Reflection in the wine.
Cid, was it? I trust that you'll do right by Jill. But until my brother is avenged, I must walk my own path.
Ah. So who are you?
Avenged.
Who do you need to kill?
My brother was murdered by a second dominant of fire.
Oh, so you don't.
Phoenix's evil twin. Oh, bugger me.
You don't have that.
Another rumor proven true.
I only stand here today because of Joshua. 13 years I've waited for this chance. I've slept in filth, drunk from a gutter, killed more men than I can count. You're right. The Empire will not suffer a deserter. This will be my best opportunity. My last.
Which is why you should join us.
I told you I'm not
Interested, I know. One of my scouts sent word there's a group of branded fugitives north of here, in the Imperial village of Lostwing. Among them is one he believes to be a dominant of fire.
Is he certain?
What say we go and ask him?
This doesn't mean I'm joining you.
Gotta be tough to get. So,
That's
okay.
ready then.
So maybe he didn't kill his brother?
You'll find everything you need down in the main hall, as well as a few things you don't. Have fun.
Okay, thanks, man. That's interesting because, you know, just the way his head was hurting, I thought it was like specifically him. And maybe it's just that he doesn't know that it was him and he thinks that this entity he saw was the one controlling. It's either that or there is somebody else who actually was controlling Efforts. I don't know. I don't know. It's a little bit unclear at the moment.
It needs her rest. I'll see she's not disturbed.
Okay. The dominant needs her rest. Very well, very well. What are we doing here? Oh, there's the dude. You merchant?
He's in. Oh no.
Goots was it? Perhaps you can help. Sid asked me to make ready for our mission. How does one go about that here?
There's old Nan's place. On second thoughts, you maybe want to see Blackthorn first.
The blacksmith? Yeah, I saw him already.
Blacksmith. To the forge it is then.
I saw that guy. He didn't have much to say to me though.
Wait, no, hold up. You'll be needing this.
What is this?
Blackthorn won't take no notice of you otherwise. Might not anyway.
What did he give me? Continental rum? Oh, rum? Oh, so he wants to drink? Okay.
Blackthorn.
What if I am? I've no time for idle chatter.
I'm not here to talk. I'll be accompanying Sid to Lostwing and I need you to see to my equipment.
You could be accompanying the goddess Krieger to a holy bedchamber for all I care. I'm not lifting a finger for
Sounds
you.
kind of hot.
Is that so?
Oh, hand over the rum. Okay, yep. Okay, never had that screen yet.
Do you want that or not? I can take it back.
Damn you, Goots.
Knows your weakness.
All right. No need to be hasty. Let's have a look at you.
Maybe repair some armor or something?
I doubt that lot could stay a Moogle's fart. Bloody Imperials. They'd rather see their bearers dead than kitted out properly. I'll do what I can, as a favor to Goot's mind.
Okay. The crafting of new gear as well as upgrading of existing gear can be done at the blacksmith as long as you have the recipe and proper materials. Select the highlighted items from the list. Okay. So all I can really do right now is craft an iron belt. Yes. I'm sure it's better, right?
And the belt, Caesar Square. You want anything else, you bring your own materials.
I'll bear that in mind. Thank you.
A word of advice. Don't let Sid decide what's best for you.
Okay. Interesting. When something has changed in the hideout, a notice will appear in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, and there's stock updates for Churn's Toll and new foraging recipes for the blacksmith. Okay. There are also notices for new quests, new missives, and many other things. An icon will also appear in-game as well in the local map to indicate recent updates.
I suppose I should thank Goots.
Okay. Okay, so you have new stuff then.
Make it quick. Not saying Fordian, do you?
Oh, I could get a broadsword. I don't have enough of that thing, but that would be nice. Or iron bracers. Iron bracers I could afford if I wanted to, which would do more defense. Good to know, good to know. Something to play with later, I suppose. I don't know if my belt actually changes. You know, if I like, when I equip stuff, if it changes how I look. I don't know that I see the stuff changing. All right, let's talk to Goots again. Goots.
The gift worked. You have my thanks.
Good man.
Come on, nearly there.
He seems cool. Uh-oh, who are you? Who are you? More just refugees and stuff. A lot of people with scars and marks on their faces.
You, blankets, quick as you like.
Is this the same guy from the city when we were younger?
Right, we make him comfortable while the bed's made up. Well, you just gonna stand there? Someone fetch some water.
I'll get the bucket. You go and see if Otto needs out, eh?
Okay.
Wait, me?
Well, he helped me out, so let's help him out. It's just gonna be kumbaya. We're all gonna be helping out each other. It's gonna be great.
The hell have I got myself into?
Do you need anything, sir? I was wondering if this was like the worker who we treated well at the city when we were younger, but probably not.
Who are they?
Huh? They're freed Imperial bearers. Who the hell are you?
I'm a freed Imperial bearer. Okay.
Shit, at this rate, you won't make it through the night. Think you can find your way up them stairs to the infirmary?
Kind of a cool tattoo, though, I'm gonna be honest.
Go on. Shift your ass.
Okay, man. The infirmary.
Are you the one looking after Jill?
Yeah. Which means I could probably see Jill. That'd be pretty cool. What's up? Okay, maybe I can't see Jill.
Your friend needs her rest. There'll be time for tearful reunions when she's recovered.
How do you know
I'm
about
not here
that?
for Jill. You're wanted downstairs. There are injured bearers in need of attention.
Well, why didn't you say so?
Because you yapped you off before I could say anything.
I did say so.
Can you help him? Is he okay?
He's going to be all right.
Okay.
But I'll need to examine them both in the infirmary. My work's just begun.
Yeah, you probably got your work cut out for you living here. Seems like a daily thing. Can you see Jill now? Nope.
Another fine day at the hideaway.
Do many of the bearers who come here arrive in this state?
It's no easy thing, casting off your chains. By the time most pluck up the courage, they're already too far gone. These two here are the lucky ones. The name's Otto. You need anything? You ask me.
Well, Otto, I do need some supplies.
Do you now? Then Lady Karen over there will be more than happy to help you.
Right.
All right.
Oh, and thanks. Be seeing you.
Not likely. I won't be staying.
Okay.
Is that right? Well, for as long as you are here, consider yourself welcome. You helped us today, and we won't forget it.
Look at me already being a good Samaritan to the people of the world. Getting my reputation up. Side quest unlocked. Oh boy. Distractions is what I hear. Keep an eye out for green icon above the heads of certain NPCs. These indicate they have a quest to offer. A list of current and completed quests can be viewed from the journal in the main menu. After accepting a quest objectives will appear in the to-do list located on the right side of the screen. Objectives for the main scenario and up to 3 side quests can be displayed simultaneously. Wow, okay. Any quest can be prioritized in the journal main menu. The hideaway facilities are also now available. Oh, 1,000 tomes, an ever-growing compendium of all things Valisthea. Okay, that's good, like, lore. A personal jukebox for songs collected throughout the game. Oh, cool. Both are located at Highway's Eatery, the Fat Chocobo, and can be found on the local map, opened by pressing the touchpad.
Who are these people?
Interesting. Okay, so we unlocked a couple of things in here. So we got a couple side quests here. So what I'm curious about is if side quests are missable, because if side quests aren't missable, then I'd rather do some main quest stuff for the moment. I am curious about this. Background music in the so I can just, so this is just the hideaway music. What? Ooh. It's very peaceful. I like it. I like this feature a lot. This is cool that you can customize your own. All these are purchased from a vendor. Okay, and then there's certain ones acquired later. It's very peaceful. I like it. Okay, so I'd rather not go for these quests at the moment, and we can come get them later, but I am curious what this is.
Yours is not a familiar face. Are you new to the hideaway, perchance?
Perchance?
You could say that.
Well then, allow me to welcome you. I am Harpocrates II Hyperboreus.
Oh, wow.
That's,
a short name?
Quite a mouthful, I know. Which is why everyone here has taken to calling me simply Tomes, on account of the company I keep. And what varied company. I'm a collector, you see. Not of bijou and baubles, but of stories. The history and culture of these isles have ever been a source of endless fascination to me. But alas, my days of wandering the realm in search of new tales are far behind me. And so I've taken to sharing that which I've gathered with all who might listen. Perhaps you would care to listen.
Mayhaps, but let me just view some of the tomes here.
I have compiled some new entries, if you would like to see them.
It's a comprehensive compendium of covering everything from basic terms to important peoples, geography. Okay, so everything past active lore time adventures can also be viewed here.
I have a few new notes that might interest you.
Clive tells of his adventures, updates the tomes. Oh,
what subject shall we consider today?
Oh. Royal Knight Lord Commander. Okay, because I kind of like looking at it here more than I like I don't want to stop a cutscene just to freaking figure out some lore. I'd rather come here after and kind of learn about it, so then we can take the scene in full. If we're out in the world and I do this, it's a little different, but definitely not in cutscenes. I don't want to do it. This was the guy that I was wondering if it was his father, but obviously it's not. So that is literally my mother. Duchess of Rosaria, wife. Oh, first and okay, it has every, because there's different, it changes depending. Duchess of Rosaria, wife of the Archduke and mother of Clive and Joshua. While she adores her younger son, she treats Clive and Jill with naught. Is Jill her daughter? Because why is Jill specifically addressed there? Duchess of Rosaria, wife of the Archduke and mother to Clive and Joshua, but Jill isn't listed there, so maybe not. Maybe she just didn't like her. I'm curious about Jill. Well, I gotta read about her too. It was not only her beauty, but her connection to a bloodline that produced many previous dominants of the Phoenix that led to her being proposed as a bride for young Archduke. Indeed, the two are cousins. Wow, just like medieval times, perfect. Having known from a young age that her purpose in life was to preserve her Phoenix-bearing bloodline, she dotes on Joshua and scorns Clive. Okay, so it's interesting, like though she's being a real jerk to Clive, and she seems to suck as a person in general. It's interesting to see her motive behind why she treated Joshua so well and why it was important for this Phoenix bloodline thing. That's kind of cool. Ever her purpose in life to preserve the Phoenix-bearing bloodline, for which reason she betrayed her husband that she might enter in league with a force she judged the mightier, the Holy Empire of Sandbreak. It was Annabelle's treachery that led to the disaster at Phoenix Gate. So what I'm still unclear about is if she wanted her son to die, because assuming those emperors were after the son and they looked like they were ready to kill him. And if she was in league with them, she would know that, meaning that she actually was going for her son to be executed. Because presumably, she's young enough to have another baby and give a different birth to a different Phoenix. That's interesting and shitty, but interesting. Oh, dominant to fire. Okay, so they are saying this is somebody else and not Clive. Unless if this is just a self-reflection of Clive, and if he took off the hood, it would just be Clive. And it's just his own mental fabrication of him. A mysterious figure who was seen amid the chaos of the Imperial invasion of Phoenix Gate immediately before the appearance of the second icon of fire. The very icon that slew the heir to the ducal throne. Clive believes this man to be the dominant who murdered his brother and has sworn to take his revenge. Dude, I don't know. I just feel like this is him. Like, just with the head stuff. Like, he did the head thing and then he appeared. I think he's an illusion. Nobody else noticed him. I really think it's Clive. But I'm not sure. All right, then I want to learn about you. First encounter. Born a princess. Okay, so she's a princess of the Northern Territories. Jo was made a ward of Rosaria after her homeland's incessant raids were quelled by the duchy. Okay, so she was just kind of given as a ward because they protected them, essentially. She was raised in Rosalith Castle alongside Clive and Joshua, who came to love her as a sister. Okay, so no more than a sister. When she waved the brothers farewell on the day they departed for Rosalith, little did she know of the misfortune that awaited both of them and her. Yeah, I guess that's what we didn't get to see was hers. Dominant of Shiva and Clive's childhood friend, in the depths of Nissa Defile, the two came to blows at the orders of the armies and enslaved them. Yeah, so they were both fighting for two different armies, basically, and both they were technically slaves of. I will say Clive looked more, what's the word? Physically free, I think is a good way to put it, over Jill, but both are slaves in their own right. Jill fighting to defend the priests of the Iron Kingdoms, Clive obeying the Empire's orders to take the head of Shiva's dominant. Exhausted from her tilt with Titan, Jill came close to falling to her assassin's blade, but was spared at the last moment when Clive's memories of their time together came flooding back. Okay, interesting. Torgal! What's up, Torgal? Clive's faithful friend. Okay, so this is Clive's. It was hard to tell whose it was. If it was Joshua's, Jill's, his. Brought back from one of the Archduke's Elwyn, or however he says his name, expeditions in the frozen Northern Territories, where he was found half-starved and shivering in a snowfield, having presumably been separated from his pack. And when gifted the puppy to Clive upon his return, and the two became nigh inseparable. Until the tragic events at Phoenix Gate tore them apart, so they were separated there. Clive's faithful friend, now fully grown after the tragic events of Phoenix Gate, Clive believed that Torgal was lost to him forever. However, their paths were to cross again some 13 years later, when Torgal's new master, Cid, came to Clive's rescue in the depths of Nissa Defile. So Cid has been taking care of him. Despite their long years apart, the two know each other as if not a single day had passed since. That is remarkable. Also remarkable, I don't know how wolves lifespans are, but that's a older wolf. Oh my gosh, there's like, okay, so this is more locations. I'm not gonna worry too much about this right now. This might be something that I read in my own time, and then if I see anything like massively interesting, like this is like the understanding of magic. Okay, this actually is probably important to understand. This can take the aspect of one of 8 elements. So there's fire, water, wind, earth, ice, thunder, light, and dark. Or more rarely, be unaspected. So maybe that's like, if I don't know what kind of spells are in this, but Mega Flare or Ultima, those type spells. While bears and dominants can cast spells at will, others require a crystal to do so. Okay, so there's the value of the crystals. Magic is a part of everyday life for the people of Valstia, making it all but unlivable when they are deprived of its gift. Yeah, there's a lot of lore here, and I would be interested to read all this, but just not at the moment. Shiva's appearance on the battlefield makes her enemies' bloods run cold. Yeah, because she's freaking hot as hell, dude. All right, well, this is very interesting. I do like that a lot. I'll probably spend some time there learning more about the world because I think that's important. And it's very interesting. I'm very interested in the lore of this game right now because this is super fascinating. But out of, desire to continue things, I want to make sure we keep going here. What I do want to do is I want to check quickly if if any quests are like missable, because I don't want to do I don't want to miss these if these are missable, but I would like to continue with the main story right now. So just so everybody's aware, how I want to do this when it comes to quests, and if there's any other side things, side mini games, I don't know how this game's going to work exactly, but when it comes to things like that, my plan to do is dedicate certain episodes for these side things. That way, those of you who don't care about the side quests, or maybe you only care about a certain one, you know, there's episodes dedicated to that you guys won't miss the main story, and then you guys know, okay, well, this is an episode that I could probably just look past. That's how I think I want to do it. If I can, I'm gonna try to do so. So that's why I'm trying to be like, okay, well, if I can just do these in an episode together, I'd rather do that. All right, lady, let's talk to you now. What's up, Sharon?
I need supplies for my journey to Lostwing. Otto said you could provide them.
What's that? Does the newcomer think it proper to make demands of a poor old matron before even introducing himself?
She's got a toad.
Well, Clive, I hear that dog is yours. Since he followed Sid home one night, I've seen to it that his chin's rubbed and his belly fed. Though I suppose that's your job now. Unless you lose him again.
No, I'll never lose him again.
Not again. Thank you for watching him.
So, were you going to buy something? What? You didn't think I'd shower your lordship with my hard-won wares while you swagger about with a pocket full of gil? Life doesn't work that way, lad. Now, let's see some
He's got different eyes. I just noticed. Okay. Both consumable gear and gears can be purchased at the shops. Oh, so I can just purchase the broadsword instead of crafting it. Oh, that's interesting. Iron bracers. Some tonics. I could get... That would be kind of nice to get a better weapon. I'll go for it.
You're me blind, you know.
I'm gonna go for it. There we go.
That's all.
Why, you've barely a guilty your name.
I know. You're expensive. There's Torgal. Look at the good boy.
Taking his side now. And after all I've done for you. All right.
He's a good boy.
All right, I can make an exception.
What?
But just this once, mind. My stores are getting cluttered and I need to make room for the next shipment.
Wait, so what am I doing?
Thank you.
What did you give me, Gil?
Thank me? Thank your dog.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy. You didn't thank him. Thank him. Thank Torgal. Wait, so am I able to upgrade this? I probably don't have the gil for it, but reinforce. I can. Ooh, that'd be nice. Because you were crafting a... What was the weapon you craft? Oh, it was... You auto-craft a broadsword +1 without having to buy the broadsword first. I see.
You can thank me later.
Okay. Oh, and I can even upgrade it again. My goodness. I don't know how valuable these items are, but...
Yeah, that should do you.
Cool.
Anything else?
I love combat, so that seems important to me. I'm okay at dodging, so I think doing more damage is my main thing right now. I choose sacks. Don't mind if I do. Uh-oh. Or not. Whoa. What? Art stone is now accessible. This customizable virtual battlescape. Oh, a safe location assess on abilities and train. It's like a simulator. Additional options will be here. Okay. I don't really want to right now, but appearance. Oh, I like that. I have to do this. It's making me do. Okay. I guess we're doing this. Training mode. I didn't want to be here, but I guess we can do this. There's a customizable battle save or type, safe location accessibilities. Okay. All right, now I can exit. All right, cool. Well, I don't really need to do that right now. I didn't get any abilities I want to try. Yeah, that's a cool stone. 2 potions.
Leaving already, are ya?
It's you I'll miss the most, Lady Karen. It always is.
Don't stop you going, does it?
This should be fun.
Right.
He's got 2 swords. That's badass. Torgal's got a little bracelet on his paw wrist, if you can call it that. Torgal! Use the world map to instantly travel to previously unlocked locations. New locations are unlocked as progress through the main story or discovering waymarks known as that obelisk. Can I talk to you? Can I pet you? No? Okay. That's fine. Open the world map? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so where's our... Okay, and it also marks the side quests here too. Right, that's very good. That's very good. Okay, so we're going to a foresty region. That'll be cool. That'll be a nice change of pace from the desert that we've been experiencing. That'll be cool. It doesn't look very foresty on the map though. Very misleading. The map is very plain Jane. Ew. Stupid mosquitoes.
Bastard blood flies everywhere.
Blood flies is actually a good name for
Taken the
mosquitoes.
Bristol Road.
And I told you that we're outlaws.
That's true.
Well, you want every bounty hunter in Storm harrying us from here to the Holy Capital? Besides, what's wrong with a shortcut through nature's splendor?
The Deadlands claim more of the realm each day. But a place like this still exists is a miracle in itself. Bloodflies and all.
Yeah.
We'll be back in Imperial land soon. You all right?
Never better.
Sounds like it.
Excuse me, sorry. Torgal! Good boy.
That there is a fine hound. Soon took to hunting. Fearless as you like.
It's good to have you back, Torgal.
Now, we don't want to be caught in the forest after nightfall.
I suppose not.
What a good boy. Fanning embers. What's this about? Torgal has joined the party and will fight alongside Clive. Yes! Oh my god, this is amazing. A hero's best friend. Oh, that's what left on the D-pad's reserved for. To toggle between item shortcuts and pet commands. I see the following 3 commands are available. Sick, Sick'em, Heal to cast Cure on Clive, and Ravage, launch an enemy into the air. Cool. That's awesome. Timely Assistance. The accessory known as the Ring of Timely Assistance removes the need for giving Torgal command. I'm equipping that one right away. When this item is equipped, Torgal will attack and heal automatically based on the current battle situation. Yes.
Did I mention there'd be deadly beasts? There'll be deadly beasts.
Okay, thank you. Let me just make sure I equip this quickly though, because that's huge. I don't really care about this timely healing because it's just using my potions without me personally thinking I really need them. So I'd rather have this timely assistance where then he'll heal me and I don't have to worry about, giving him commands.
Nothing a trained assassin can.
Oh, sorry. I know you're doing things. We go to attributes. So party members here in the bottom right. We have Torgal as a party member. I don't know if we're able to play as other characters in this game, or if you're always forced to play as, well, at least he's here. It does not seem like I can upgrade him with anything else at the moment. See, this is interesting because this makes me think that we're going to get different icons, but, world-wise and plot-wise, I don't know how that works. Unless if I'm becoming the dominant of every freaking thing, but that doesn't make sense to me. Okay, I don't really know what I'm doing yet, so let's just keep going.
How reassuring.
You're welcome for that and the shortcut.
Mm-hmm. Very pretty forest, though. Amazing lighting. I do approve. And little Torgal. I love Torgal, dude. Oh my god, this game is already so freaking awesome. I'm loving it so much so far. I think the world's super interesting. The characters are super interesting. The concept of magic and these crystals, the dominance, all of that. Oh god. Whoa. Holy crap. Whoa. A new enemy approaches. They're Worgen. Good job, Tortle. Good job. I think I successfully dodged it.
We still have a way to go.
Damn. Bloody hides I'm getting. Okay, so we're getting some loot drops. Very befitting. Very cool. Under this. Into a cutscene. Ooh. It's a demonic looking wolf. Uh-oh. Oh, God, that's a lizard. Oh my God. Is that an adamant lizard or something?
What in good Grieger's name is he doing this far south?
What is that?
Looking for food. No more wolves where he's from. The north was one of the first parts of Storm to fall to the Blight.
Poor sod. I'd invite him over for a cup of tea if I didn't think he'd eat the dog.
Okay. Oh, he doesn't like them. I see an item over there.
Let's try and stay out of its path.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I have a feeling that's not going to go well. I have that feeling indeed. Whoa! Oh God, you're alive!
Deadly beasts.
Oh, you gotta be weak to fire, right?
These bars are much better.
And you only think to mention this now.
Get him, boy!
God, this combat just feels so good. At some point here, I will be like working to get rid of the auto comboing, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Oh, I got to level off a regular Artemis. Nice. More stat boost.
Well, that's the undergrowth sorted. I'll take it from here.
I don't know what he's doing, but one sec. I gotta make sure I got the loot seas. Yeah, I was thinking that this world was gonna be like an open world game, kind of more like Final Fantasy 15, but so far it seemed very linear. Like we're not physically walking from point A to B. We're just teleporting to areas. So this map isn't like I can't walk from here all the way over to here if I wanted to. It doesn't work like that, which I'm okay with because I think it would be a little overwhelming if it was more than that, which I kind of think is the case with Final Fantasy 15 a little bit. Let's see.
After you.
Damn.
Thank you kindly.
What a gentleman. I feel like we could have just gone through that anyways, but that's fine.
The ruins. They're everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah. Look freaking cool too. Look at all those trees.
Some say there was a time they blocked out the stars. Down was the only way left for them to go.
I'd love more lore with that.
A lesson to be learned from that. But it can wait. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Mind your head.
I see an item over here. God, I'm really enjoying this game so far. That's a good place to look out at the scenery, because I'm wondering if there's like a, you know, obviously these are ruins, right? So this was in the past. So I would be a little bit upset if we didn't get some substantial lore behind, you know, this culture that existed before our, you know, modern times that clearly seems like it was more advanced based on the fact that we don't even know how to work that material. So I don't know. That's very intriguing. Freaking gorgeous though. The Blight, the Blight seems like Desertscape, like just Deadlands basically. But this is very much not that, and it seems like a lot of the world is not Blight still, which is good, because otherwise your whole experience of this game would just be, this is a desert, this is a rockier desert, a mountainous desert. But we are not going to be experiencing that, it seems. We will be getting nice fleshed out different areas. Maybe the northern is going to be more icy, you know, that kind of stuff, which is cool to say. But anyways, guys, we are going to wrap this one up here. I think this is a good stopping point for now, and we can continue this in the next episode. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I do appreciate it a lot. So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you guys have not already. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.